Another famous story from the Grimm's fairy tales is Rumpelstiltskin. Once upon a time, there was a poor miller who wanted to impress the king. He boasted that his daughter could spin straw into gold. The king, intrigued and greedy, ordered the miller's daughter to be brought to the castle. There, he locked her in a room filled with straw and gave her a spinning wheel, saying that if she had not spun the straw into gold by morning, she would be executed. The miller's daughter was terrified because she didn't know how to spin straw into gold. As she sat weeping, a strange little man appeared out of nowhere. He offered to spin the straw into gold for her in exchange for something. Desperate, she gave him her necklace. The next morning, the king was amazed to find the room filled with gold. But the king was not satisfied. He took her to a larger room filled with more straw and demanded she spin it into gold by the next morning, or she would die. Again, the little man appeared, and this time she gave him her ring in exchange for his help. When the king saw the room full of gold, he was pleased but still wanted more. He took her to an even larger room filled with straw and said if she succeeded in spinning all the straw into gold, he would marry her. If not, she would die. This time, the girl had nothing left to give the little man when he appeared. He demanded that she give him her firstborn child if she became queen. In her desperation, she agreed. The little man spun all the straw into gold, and the next morning, the king, true to his word, married her. A year later, the queen gave birth to a beautiful child and had long forgotten her promise. However, the little man appeared and demanded the child as she had promised. The queen was horrified and begged him to let her keep her child. Seeing her distress, the little man agreed to give her 3 days to guess his name. If she could guess correctly, she could keep her child. The queen sent messengers throughout the kingdom to gather every possible name, and she tried to guess the little man's name, but each time she was wrong. On the 3rd day, one of her messengers returned, saying he had overheard a strange little man dancing around a fire, singing about how no one would guess that his name was Rumpelstiltskin. When the little man returned, the queen pretended to guess a few wrong names before finally saying, "Is your name Rumpelstiltskin?" The little man was furious that his name had been discovered. In his rage, he stamped his foot so hard that it went through the floor, and in some versions of the tale, he tore himself in two, while in others he fled, never to be seen again. The queen was able to keep her child, and she and the king lived happily ever after.